there's disappointment around a plan not being able to be executed. Something can't be stopped. This is what I first heard when I dropped into the collective energy, and we're going to get a next 72 hours portal report just to see what is coming through for us here. Yeah, we do have, you know, this effing guy carrying a big stick and is getting some knowledge about something that is getting just out of reach of his sphere of influence and power here. Something's been transformed, and I do feel he's getting knowledge about this. Makes the settling of an old score a tad tricky. It's what I'm hearing here. All right, we're going to see what's coming in here. I know there was a lot of heavy energy that came in on the last portal report. A lot of the stuff that came in there has already started to play out. I've been noticing, hopefully there's not too much of that coming in here, but there certainly could be. I also feel like there's certain things that are coming forward on a macrocosmic level in regard to redactions and two separate rules of law, depending on what class you belong to. And I think a lot of this stuff is starting to destabilize certain power structures as well. And this is at the forefront of the collective consciousness. As we know, this plays out in our own spheres. Yes, it is this energy of big, sexy Satan trying to convince himself that everything is fine when clearly something is amiss here. And it almost gives me the vibes of something is coming up from the archives of the past. It's like knowledge that's rooted in the past is coming to light when it was considered done, dusted, buried, forgotten. Gives me like world tree energy here, okay? Also, this is getting back to the roots of things. Tracing something back to the roots of where it started. Where did the corruption begin? Where did something go amiss? Where did we lose the plot? Where did we get this power taken out of our hands? All right, so somebody is frustrated here. Yeah, old Aunt Brenda here. She thought she would have you on your knees, but you threw a wrench in the works when you decided to rise instead. This is somebody who thought that they were going to school you, and now you're letting them know, oh, I'm not down for the count. I can go another round. Okay. So you're facing off with some opposing energy here. Somebody who wants to try to control you. Somebody who wants to try to school you. Somebody who tried to stop something for you, but then you got back up just when they thought they had you licked. Okay, interesting energy. Let's get around to the ARCANE BS and we'll dive a little bit deeper into this energy. Yeah, they thought that they could feed off of your ascension here. That's how it's coming through, but it's too late. You're out of reach. There's some creative force you hold here that another is really hungry for. And it doesn't even have to be, it's coming through as it doesn't even have to be another person. It could be more. It's kind of coming through as archon energy. You know, archon energy is really just thought forms that sort of get tapped into a host and act out through that host. And it's to prevent this quality of coming into conscious awareness, of really understanding that, oh, actually you do hold all the creative power. Like you can weave your world, your own sphere of influence into what you want it to be. And the more that you work with that energy, the more that everybody works with that energy, actually, the more we truly tap into the motherboard and all the power structures start to switch up. I mean, there's a reason why you hear about people in such high positions of power tapped into the occult, tapped into things like masonry. It's because there's certain key fundamental alchemy bricks, you could say, that form the foundation of creating the power structures in reality. And so when you start to become aware of how to kind of get beyond this, then you become a focal point for energies that are very hungry to keep that suppressed, to prevent that from gaining too much elevation, too much visibility. Okay? Yeah, they want you to stay programmed by the random clip art that shows up in your algorithm. They don't want you to start questioning things, and they don't want certain things to be revealed, but it is a climate that favors whistleblowers here, and there's a lot of that that's happening. There's a lot of people that aren't willing to be quiet anymore. Okay, so maybe somebody thought that you would just be quiet. Somebody thought you would just take it, and you would just take it. No. Let's get back to the roots of how this all started, you see. You had a certain resilience to activate your own self-knowledge of a situation, and this is what's getting you forward here. I do see that there was something that tried to come in and almost intercept your vision, cloud your vision of where your roots truly do lie. And where your roots truly do lie, that's where your treasure is. And there is something you're reclaiming here, and it is based in the past. There's something you're retrieving here. You're calling it back to you, and it's because you have some self-knowledge that you didn't have before. You're tapped into something you weren't tapped into before. This could be of a spiritual nature. I do see there's been some kind of awakening in your consciousness, and it made you realize that a certain timeline was fractured here. You're bringing that back into alignment, but you're going back to the roots to get it. Like there's something you're digging up here. You're tracing it back. On a macrocosmic level, getting to the root of something, they're digging up information. We already tapped on this in the last portal report, so I don't want to go back into that. Do check out that portal report that came out last week. Smoke on the water, fire in the sky, if you want to get more information on that. But I do feel like that's going to progress. There's a lot being dug up here, but it does illuminate something that wasn't understood before. Yeah, and it does activate the North Node potential. It does activate the opening of the road for the Stone of Destiny. And it does put you at the forefront here of directing the course. You do see the first signs of something coming to bloom here, though. Maybe you're not a future grandma after all, just letting time pass you by. You did stare into a bit of the numinous mystery here, and it's directing your course. It's allowing you to boldly go where you've never gone before. Yeah, maybe you can take a shot at that over there. You may become master of the hunt just when everybody thought you were down for the count. That's how this energy is coming through. I think I hear Mr. Ted tap dancing on the outside of the door there, so let me let him in just a moment. He always introduces himself at key moments here. You want in, Ted? Ted? You want in? Come on. Come on in, babe. Okay, lay down. Do you need to go potty? Okay. Okay. Here you go, baby. Here you go, babe. Okay. And the distractions begin. What's on the bottom of the deck here? Oh yeah, somebody's feeling like they got a little caught in the act here. Little caught in the act, but there is some authorities coming in here that are rectifying that. And the authorities are not the authorities you would typically think of. No, these are the authorities that protect all things magical and free. Somebody acted a bit like a predator here in a situation, I feel. May have even had a few people working alongside them here that are getting called out, judgment time. They thought they had their eyes on the prize, and then they kind of like lost the plot. They didn't count on your resilience. That's what I got. That's how the energy's coming through. They didn't count on your resilience. Okay, interesting energy. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Give us some details about this. All right, so you might have somebody kind of breezing through just to sort of test the waters, stir things up a little bit. They may think of approaching and then they kind of pull back, but you already sense them coming. So you're just like, say what you need to say, man. It's a shitty acoustic guitar guy making a break from a compromising pact here with a certain group, ready to embrace some weird ass mystical shit. Okay, somebody's really starting to free their mind. Somebody's starting to free a certain social construct. Somebody is starting to get a new perspective on a situation. They're recognizing, hey man, I'm not that. I'm getting away from this particular scene. And somebody's ready. Yeah, look at that. They're burning a bridge. They realize time's wasting. And now that they've become privy to certain secrets here, they're going to make sure that they're not going to be interrupted moving forward here. This is somebody who wants to reclaim some glory days. It could be this effing guy. Here, Ted. Go ahead, lay down, bub. Go ahead, lay down, bub. Come on. You're cozy. Lay down, effing guy. Tell us all about it. What's on your mind? You know, this is something coming up for somebody. They want to reclaim something that was lost here. I feel like this is really going to come to a head. Come to a head with the new moon ring of fire in Aquarius on the 17th. We're edging up to it, not too far from now. Okay, we got about a week to go. And there is a cycle that has been broken here. Somebody's transformed something that's held them back from rooting something they've wanted to root in their material reality for quite a while. Maybe they thought they were in a position of power. They recognize, actually, I'm not in a position of power. I'm in a position of false power. And because of that, they're able to cut something off and reclaim that cosmic carrot, that elusive thing that they were trying to get their hands on before. They were just maybe going about it the wrong way. Okay. There is magic afoot here, right? There is otherworldly things stirring in this situation. So the situation may feel kind of fated or destined, or there's a lot of synchronicity coming in around this. You know who this effing guy is. That's what I got. Okay, and flip-flop as you need to. It could be an effing gal too, but if it's an effing gal, it's an effing gal that knows how to hold her power, and she is not afraid to use it. Okay, it's somebody that has some level of self-assertion here. All right, and they feel very strongly about what they're representing and what they have to say and what they feel about a situation. Okay. In some cases, though, it can be a really overly controlling influence, because we did have old Aunt Brenda come in, or that could be the energy that is being cut off, that has been preventing something from being able to come to its true fruition or its sense of clarity. Yeah, somebody let themselves rest in a certain state, a certain alliance connection, could be an intimate connection for too long, then started to notice that the energy was getting a little greedy, a little grabby or something. Ooh, what's that? Doesn't want to be uncovered here. Oh, it's somebody who's not getting their way with the former child star in reverse. That's not a good energy. This is somebody who's just really inflammatory, somebody who's acting out very destructively. wanting to cause some kind of disaster, but I feel like their plans were foiled. It did come in with that energy, like you're not going to be able to halt something. You're not going to be able to halt something, former child star. You're not going to be able to prevent somebody from enacting their destiny here. Yeah, oh, interesting. Isn't it funny how something so assuming can be the source of your annihilation? Yeah, you know, don't underestimate those who appear meek. Don't underestimate those who, you know, appear to be loyal to the bitter end, or their kindness is viewed as a weakness, because if you do, you will find that you don't have the fuel you need to complete your journey. I do got this kind of energy coming in too about people not being able to just siphon off of you anymore either. Yeah. Yeah. And they're definitely trying to tap in. Some of you may feel that you have a connection that every time you were intimate with somebody, you felt really drained afterward. This person may be hungry for your energy on that level. It may be because that's how this person like would get courted into you, and it was the way that they were able to manipulate you. They may be hungry for your energy. Okay, this just coming in. It's just coming in. They're low on fuel. They can't complete their objective maybe unless they're able to kind of get courted in like that, because you're not as easily manipulated otherwise. It's kind of how it's coming through. I don't know, maybe you get digmatized, or maybe you get clipmatized. It's possible. It's possible. Maybe they think that you're easy to work in that way, okay? Could be they're just trying to sway you to see something their way too. It doesn't have to be anything like really shady and malicious, okay? Some of you it could be, but not all of you, okay? Not all of you. Some of you are just dealing with more of kind of like a situation with bruised egos and people who maybe used to put themselves above you in some way. Like maybe they thought they had more status than you, or they had some higher ranking social position. I don't know what this is. This is really silly stuff, but this is what's coming out here, okay? And they're kind of surprised that what used to work doesn't work anymore, okay? All right, any more details about this? Any more details about this? Yeah, I mean, again, I don't know if this is somebody with future grandma coming through here again, and it's got like the cat, and the cat's third eye is lit. So this is like maybe somebody who feels like time is marching on and they feel like their glory days have passed them by, and this is somebody who wants to do something, like it feels like they want to do something a little edgy or a little unexpected to break the mold of how they've always been seen. Like, I've never been seen as the rebellious one. I've never been seen as the one you need to watch out for. You know, somebody wants to live out some kind of like fantasy before time is up, and maybe wants to achieve a certain objective as a result of that. Like, it would give them an ego boost or something. What is this? The Queen of Holes in reverse. Yeah. Coming in with make up your goddamn mind here. I mean, this person did make up their mind. They did, but their thoughts are leading them south. You know what I'm saying? Their thoughts are leading them south into a compromising situation. I don't think they really understand that the one they're really compromising is themselves here, though, with what they're being loyal to. That's what I see, okay? Because there is something they've seen here. They have. There's every indication here that there's been illumination about something, seen into secret matters, holding that power, and yet using that power in a distorted way instead of using it in a way that exalts things. It takes itself. It sends it straight to hell, you know? Yeah, it's like the death. Somebody wants to use this information they have, this knowledge they have, in a way that tries to prevent something from happening that should happen, or hold something back, or block something. And they're finding out they don't have the power to do this. They don't have the fuel to do this. This was not a good idea to head in this direction. Somebody who looked like they'd be like an easy mark is not an easy mark. They are the ones bringing about annihilation, but not even through having to do anything in this direction, just simply being unaffected. It's got unbothered, okay? And this is really sending somebody into like a temper tantrum with a former child star in reverse. They're thinking of doing something inflammatory. But they're going to find it's like they can't have a scenario where it's like an eye for an eye, because they feel like they've already acted out of pocket as it is. So to attempt something, it's only going to bring like further damage in their direction, not toward the collective. Okay, interesting. It's like they underestimated you. Whoever this is. I'm going to get one more round, and then I'm going to pull out a few clarification cards on this, and we'll see what comes through. One more round. What is that? Oh yeah, here we go. Came out in the middle of the deck. This is what they're trying to hide. That they feel a mess about things. They're trying to hide this. They're trying to save face. And they're trying to give off the appearance of kind of like, don't look over there, don't pay attention to that. It's probably nothing. They're also telling themselves it's probably nothing, but they're feeling, whoever this is, they're feeling the shifting of a certain power that they were holding here. And certainly this is going on the macrocosmic level. I see that. There's a particular woman that's in the hot seat at this point. I did get that from the last portal report, that the women were going to start to have more focus, and that there was, strategy with that. And certainly we've seen that happen over the last 72 hours, big time. Yeah, it's so big, sexy Satan can give them all the slip and get where he wants to go. Yeah, I feel like this is really speaking of the Bondi situation coming in. With that, okay, it's probably nothing. Yeah, but there's some truth that's seen here. There's something that's been looked into more deeply. There's records, there's receipts, there's surveillance in some cases, okay? There is a trail here. And it's not like an imaginary trail. It's a very material trail here. All right, so there's a situation like this too, also going on. In your personal life, you're in your personal sphere connected to you through somebody that you are personally engaged with. Somebody's acting funny and you don't know why. This could be because they're in the middle of a situation like this. And they keep reassuring you that nothing's going on. You try to believe them, but you can sense something's off. Yeah, you can sense something's off, and maybe in regard to like a clandestine, intimate connection here. It is coming in something secret. The secrecy is coming in around the feminine, I have to say, who has not transformed something yet. They're still hanging out in the South now. That's what I got. And obviously, with the pizza slice here, this is talking about stuff that goes back on a macrocosmic level, regarding paper trails, records, so forth, being revealed. Stuff that was hidden regarding where certain connections lie, where certain things may be found, okay? And really understanding just how much the power has been corrupted, how much has been concealed. But it's in a state of chaos right now. So there's always something new that will be born out of chaos. We know that. Disruption comes to bring about new beginnings, new awakenings, secret things coming to light. And this does bring about a temperance here. And there will be the sweetness of the bloom on the other side. We've got to move against the grain, though. But we will be the first to greet the Buddha, and we will rise up above these challenges we're facing in our own personal spheres, certainly, but also collectively on a macrocosmic level. We just got to keep elevating here. We can't let them end the dawn, and it does require that we cut off anything that is complicated, creates confusion, anything that puts us in a position where we feel like our freedom of choice or clear thought is obstructed here. It's time to make some decisions, right? And in regard to the macrocosmic stuff, yes, there is something that's being seen, okay? I got to bring it through, man. It came through before, I'm going to bring it through. I don't say anything to like purposely offend people around here, but I deliver the messages as they come through, and I am a truth teller. It's just the way it is. Sometimes people don't want to look at things that they've held in high esteem through a less than flattering lens, okay? But this is something coming through in relation to the whole Pizzagate stuff, all of that stuff that has ties with the Vatican. A path of greed will be evident with that new moon ring of fire. There's certain things from the past that need to be cleansed. If we're going to move into the future, we have to see things accurately. And there can be some people that were held in really high esteem that are going to take a fall here for their part. They are being caught. They are being caught with their pants down. What was submerged is going to be seen. It's all coming up and out. And, you know, it can be destabilizing for some people that have kind of lived in a bubble of thinking this stuff isn't real, this stuff doesn't really go on, it doesn't exist. But this is truly what we need to move forward here. See, we'll be hanging loose. We're going to ride these waves of change just fine once we allow the transformation to come. And we start to move forward in a new way. It does revolve around us getting back to the beginning. So when we look at this, you see how there's like this merging that keeps happening of the macrocosmic with the general collective energy. It's unavoidable at this time. It's because we're rooting something new into being with the weird tree. And it's going to take time to get it there, but we will get it there. It's already evident. The self-knowledge is being activated. We're starting to recognize that we need to readjust our vision forward for the future, that we need to get back to our roots, that we need to get back to a way of life that is a lot less hustle and a lot more flow, all right? There's transformation that is coming in here for sure. And you're experiencing this rippling out in your own little microsphere within your relationships, you know, with the work you're doing, the stuff that's coming up for you. So can continue to anticipate that this shift is going to be here for the long haul, because this is not anything that's going to be resolved overnight. And you may feel like you have no effing clue, but you just got to let your fire and your clarity of discernment lead you forward at this time, because yeah, future is here, man. Time marches on, and you've already seen something you need to see, so act on it. Came out with 28 on the clock. Double wheel of fortune energy there. I'm going to go ahead and just get a round of the tarot to cap this off. I'm going to use the Gilded Tarot here to see what comes in. Bottom of the deck. Yeah, there's a decision that needs to be made here. And you're going to make that decision with the new moon, with that ring of fire. I feel that very strongly. That's when your fire will come forward. You may not have an effing clue now, but there is information coming in to illuminate you over the next 72 hours, so pay attention. And then you'll truly have a lay of the land. Right. Just going to get one round of these to cap this off. Bottom of the deck. Do you see? There's that effing guy, the King of Wands. Fire forward very strongly here. So there could be a fire sign that is coming to a state of clarity where they didn't have an effing clue before. All right. So there's something that may be communicated by a fire sign. that is coming from a very clear place within themselves, crowned by their own self-knowledge in a situation. Somebody may not have been certain about something before, but they are certain now, even though they don't know where something will go. This could be coming from the fireplace in you too, so do check out where you have fire in your chart. This is hinting at where you're getting some information that you didn't have before that's going to have you taking an action based on clarity. So you do want to check out the first house of Aries, the fifth house of Leo, the ninth house of Sagittarius. See what you got hanging out there, as well as any placements you have in those signs. Where your Mars placement is at. Where's your Sun? And where's your Jupiter? All right, that's what's coming into view here. This is what's going to give you a clue you need, so you have clarity, so you can take some action. Yeah. Not until the new moon though, but this is the information you need that's starting to come in here to alchemize, which you can't currently see. Temperance, so the signs are out there. There's a lot of information coming through, a lot of interconnectedness. You just have to be able to spot the points of connection, which requires you're present, you pay attention, but there is something coming in here right on time that's aligning you with your path of destiny. It aligns you with this point of harmonization, looks like with another. Okay, there is a celebration here, an arrival point. 1111 coming through as a number of synchronicity. When it lets you know you're coming upon this gateway, and this is what it is. It's that stargate. And once you arrive there at the time of that ring of fire in Aquarius, you'll feel like you hold the whole world in your hands. You'll know exactly the stretch of road that's before you. And what's, oh, I didn't even notice that. Look what's behind that. Wow. So the 1 to the 2 leads automatically to the 4. There's no 3 here. Isn't that interesting? So there's something you already have here that you don't see it yet. You already got something in the bag that you don't see yet. You're going to come to the recognition of it though. That's what I really feel. And then once you really realize it, you're fully in, you're fully invested. Okay, this is good energy. Let me go ahead and do a cut of the deck here, see what we got. Yeah, but here you are. You're feeling energy come in. That's what I think. You're feeling energy come in. And because you're feeling the activity on the periphery, you're sort of like, you're holding a line here. Like you don't know if there's something you're going to need to defend. It's got like a feeling of being on guard. Yeah, because you sense disruption in the force field. But it's actually options that are coming in here. And there's one very special offer coming through for you. You don't see it right now, but this is sort of like the thing you want to keep your sights focused on, because I feel like you got a lot of distractions around this. So do expect some distractions to come through in the meantime, like people trying to get you to sort of not pay attention over there, like pay attention to me. It's because there's something coming through here for you, coming into alignment for you. Let me get some numbers of significance, and I'll get a little ERISIAN Spirit Board action too, just to cap this off. Yeah, there's some energies that are caught up here right now. They're caught up. It's interesting. It's like they're in the paddy wagon. They feel held up, but it's like there's almost like there's a new perspective coming in where it's like, yeah, but you're not heading south, you're heading north, you know? You may think you're like trapped, but you're not. It's like the opposite. You need to get a different perspective here. Coming in real strong for life path 5, life path 3, life path 8. What you don't see is there's an opportunity here for a wheel of fortune, okay? Could be connected to life path 4, life path 6, life path 1. 10th month is significant, October. There's something there that it's getting set off right now. But there's something that you could be viewing as, how can I put this? Feeling held back or feeling stuck in a certain way that is actually heading you toward your North Star. It's giving you the strength to rise above a challenge in the past, and it's bringing about a turning of the wheel of fortune for you. There could be a Leo connected to this, a Libra connected to this, a Sagittarius connected to this, fixed sign energy, Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius could be in the mix as well. Capricorn, 10th house, something's on display. Yeah, something will be on display when you do move forward with whatever this is. May not be until October. May not be until the 1st of March. There might be something that's announced there. Yeah, and it just turned around to the Chariot. There could be something that moves you forward at that time. You get beyond a particularly tricky influence. And something that was trying to really hold you back, that has its roots in the past. Somebody that's been at something for quite a while, or a situation that's been long-standing that was acting as a blockage is being effectively removed from the sphere of influence here. Okay, so signs, we got Leo here, Gemini, Virgo, Capricorn, Cancer, those are some other energies connected. All right, let me go ahead and get some letter messages to cap this off. Little ERISIAN Spirit Board action, just hurling these letter die like golden apples in the banquet hall. I got yes to that. Okay, so maybe you do need to stir up a certain party here who's become a little bit too indulgent. I got AI coming in around that, so I don't know if there's been a group of people up to something with AI. It's been a little bit of mischief, but it's also becoming a bit old hat, starting to see through it. It's not going to work out anymore, okay? Not going to work out anymore. I got hi coming in again, as in Japanese, like yes, okay? Okay, let's see here. It comes in again. It does not stop coming in. The dude abides. Dude, there's a lot more of these experiences coming through, and that particular download is still activated, that portal report. We will put a card at the end of this video so you can look that up. I got premature coming in here. So something could be a bit premature. Somebody could be having a premature birth. That could be in a metaphorical sense, like trying to get something to move forward a little before it's time, when you need to wait for some kind of complication to clear so you can make a clear-cut decision. Yeah, I got 11 coming in around that, Roman numeral 11. So that really is calling forth justice energy. Also in some decks, it's strength. So this could be concerning Libra. This can be concerning Leo. This could be concerning a past matter. You could be one of these signs. You could be dealing with one of these signs. Something's a little premature to make a final judgment call, okay? You need to wait for a little clarity to come through. It will be prime time soon enough. That's what I got. prime time soon enough. We got PR coming in with prime time too. So there could be some offer coming through that moves you onto a different timeline. It's your time. It's prime time. At the moment, it's premature. Okay, at the moment it's premature. Give it a moment for things to kind of get settled in place here. And then you'll have a set idea of how to move something forward. There could also be something going down on a set. Okay. So this could be filming something. And I did get something of significance going down on Saturday Night Live. So I'm not sure what that's about. But I guess that won't come in until Saturday. So pretty much right when this one is up and a new one comes in. We also got a lot going down with the Department of Justice. We'll be hearing more about that. More is going to continue to surface. That's here for the long haul. And yes, you know, there's a lot of diversionary stuff around it, certainly. Anything else? This is what I got right now. All right. I'll be back with another portal report Saturday. And in the meantime, some other downloads to check out. But hang tight. There's a lot coming through here that's definitely opening up the road and in a big way. So, Godspeed. Pay attention to the signs. They're there.